Good afternoon. It's we're looking at ancient architecture, ancient civilizations that existed long before our time, and some of, like you can see right here, some of this architecture, this civilization that used to be is still intact. Will we one day have people who come after us look back upon our civilization just like this right here, like we're doing right now, and look amongst the ruins of, history, humanity, and then it looks like that probably will happen, and it has throughout time. There's been total rising and total falling, destruction, and all of that, you all. So it's really interesting if you look at it from that type of a viewpoint. Civilizations rise and then civilizations fall. And some civilizations, they just totally disappear. You don't know what happened. The history's completely gone. Will that be said of us? Will it? It could. It very well could. Wouldn't a lot of people like to have known just went on at certain areas? And wouldn't they like to see, instead of guess, how such architecture and stuff like this, massive cities were built? Were they built with like some kind of alien technology? Or was it just regular skillsmen with, their chisels and stuff, and they just perfectly made these buildings right here, this architecture? Was it with just little simple hand tools, you all? Really? I know that there's people who can really, they're skilled craftsmen in lots of areas, but sometimes it makes a person think. It does, knowing that there's other life forms out there, and there are other life forms. Let me come over to this channel right here. I just wanted to come up here because it's around 4 o'clock. It's 4:31 is what time it is. You just showed a channel with you in a comment of your last video. It's synced. Oh, wow, that's great. Hello there, Patty. Yeah, that's right. I want to go over here to, it's a different browser, but I've already got it pulled up. I do. I probably could capture the window. I really could. Let me see if I can do a screen capture of this window. Let me look, you all. This is, want to do a window capture. Let's see if I can get it. Bingo! We got it. Yes, we got it, you all. I think I can put myself in there. Maybe, perhaps, you all. Do we got a window capture right here? We do. So I'm going to see if I can put myself inside this window capture. I did put myself right here. So let's look at this architecture, you all. I guess I had to stay up here at the top. I make myself a little bit littler, like this. You can see I'm over here on the Bing.com. I will have to come over here. I want to see if I can do it. I've not really done this before with a different browser. All right, you all. So let's see what we got right here. This is the, let me see. This is the ruins of Acelius Library in Ephesus. Oh, that reminds me of the church in Ephesus. Does that not remind you of the church in Ephesus? Wow, in Turkey, Istanbul. Wow. I've heard of that before, the Church of Ephesus, but this is the Celsus Library in Ephesus. Isn't that interesting, you all? That is really interesting. I wonder if we can no, I'm not going to try it. I don't want to mess it up. That is really cool, you all. I never knew that. So you can see all these different images that they've taken. Anatolia. the ancient city in Anatolia. This is where St. John and St. Paul. Oh, wow, you all. St. John and St. Paul. Look at that. I don't know what it's going to say. That's all. St. John and St. Paul. Let me see if I can go back. Let's go down here. The memories of Ephesus and arrivals to Greece. Oh, wow. Maybe that's where King Agrippa was at, you all. Could have been. King Agrippa, Turkey, Apostle Paul, Jesus' kingdom. Never knew that's what that looked like. Wow. It's neat to see solid, history and architecture, a building associated with a, the reading. Wow, so this is Ephesus. That really is, it's pretty cool. That is really cool, you all. Let's scroll down. That would be like, I guess they had an early church in Ephesus, is what I guess. That's pretty interesting. And you all, I had no idea what this thing was called because I've never seen it before in my whole entire life. I haven't. There's all kinds of ruins here, you all. This Bing is a pretty good thing to look at. Let's see if we can look at some more. Okay, this is the same old architecture right here, the same building. How am I going to get out of here? Look at the different ways it is shown. Different ruins in Turkey. Wow. Let's scroll down. Let's see if we can see anything over here. Maybe other places. No, this is more libraries. I don't want to look at the libraries. I want to see things to see in Ephesus and stuff. Let's see if we can get out of Ephesus. I don't know how on earth I got into there. I was, what did we click into? I wanted to go to the first one. Let's see. We clicked down here, and we was looking at this, related searches. I wanted to see if we could see other things. Oscar. Why can't we see some other, I don't know. Let's see. Egypt, no. You all, let me see. How did I find that stuff over there on the side? There was other buildings that were associated with it. There was. I don't know how to get out of this place now that I went into it, you all. I am so sorry. Gina, quit your Bing. Gina, quit. You all, I got to get out of this place. Okay. Now we got it. Let's do the Otis ruins. This is going to twirl around, you all. The Otis ruins. Ooh. What is this stuff? Oh, look, 21 hours ago. What is that? Somewhere in Turkey, 21 hours ago. What on earth? A 10 billion year old ruin of Earth-like planet found around nearby. Where is it at? An Earth-like planet 10 billion years old? How did we end up on space? Okay, I don't know how we ended up on space, but yeah, that's okay. We got some comments on here, you all. We really do. I wanted to try to see if, let's see what this is right here. It's a 130,000-year-old ancient megalithic ruins were recently found in Turkey. 130,000-year-old ruins. Now, how can that be possible since they say the earth is only 6,000 years old according to biblical texts? How can we have a 130,000-year-old ancient megalithic ruin? How can that be possible? Really, if you think about it, how can it be possible? Let's look at this. I wanted to get back over to that. Oh, now it's not going to let me. Isn't that something? It's not going to let me get back over to it. Oh, here it is. Let's click it. I want to click it. Let's read this, you all. Alien news. Well, we like alien. We can look at alien news. I don't like all this junk on here, but we can look at it. Look at this. So these look like the heads of somebody. You think this is the elongated heads right here, you all? Do you think it is? Yeah. The buildings will last like the old ones. That's right. Let's see this. So 130-year-old ancient megalithic ruins were recently found in Turkey. That's yesterday. Who built them? Was it primitive people? Am I too loud? The ancient Egyptian complex of Giza is by far one of the most interesting archaeological hauls that humanity has ever had the opportunity to uncover. In fact, it deserves all the praise that it receives since it was discovered. Don't get us wrong, but we do believe the fact that other discoveries also deserve some of that recognition. You can take the example of Göbekli Tepe, archaeological site from Turkey. I haven't heard of it. That's because the sad part is it will most likely never be as popular as it deserves to be. I've never heard of it in Turkey. Oh, wow. The Göbekli Tepe temple is actually way older and bigger than any structure from the Giza complex, to the point where it's not even worth comparing. Who made it, you all? If the Bible is only if the earth is only 6,000 years old, then where does this fit in? Example, the Great Pyramid of Giza is estimated to be about 4,500 years of age by now, but this temple is supposedly older than over 130,000 years old. Yes, 130,000 years old. Wow. This is the oldest archaeological find that historians have accepted, despite the fact that we uncovered it in a while back. Only 5% of it has been studied and recorded as of yet. You mean to tell me they just discovered these great big giant heads of beings? How can they? They don't look like they were buried under anything. They don't. How could they just now discover them? We have satellites in orbit that can zoom down and read the date on a quarter. The date on a quarter from up in orbit. And they just now found these, you all. Come on. Look at that. Can you see these heads? Let me get my head out of the way. Look at that. These are birds. Where's their bodies? What happened to their bodies, you all? Why is it just their heads? Is their bodies underground? Oh, Dennis, they buried it? They buried it? They buried their whole entire bodies? And you can see that human over there. That human is not even as big as the head. It's not. It's not as big as the head. They got some lizards on it. Because of the sheer size of this site, this is possible. However, we know for certain that it was not built by hand. Okay, that does it. That does it. It was not. It was not. It was not built by hand. So that means some kind of alien technology, some otherworldly-like technology had a hand in this, you all. That's what that sounds like. It was certainly not built by hand. Stone pillars weighing over 50 tons each. 50 tons were used to build it. How many pounds are in a ton, you all? Is it like 6,000 or maybe more? Could you imagine a human trying to lift up 1 ton by hand? That's right. No human hands built that. 2,000 pound, thank you for that. We got some people who know their measurements and their weights. Thank you. 2,000 pounds, 50 tons. Wow, that is really wild. Wow, this is often used to prove that ancient civilizations had some access to advanced technology. You think so? Yeah, we're reading something that was just published yesterday. Look at that. They got a boar. Look at there. There's a boar right there. There's some, that's inscriptions. Look what's up there on this one too. You all, this is really neat. They buried it. It's intact. It's totally intact, and it's not, wow. Look at that structure. Do you think that was buried underneath there and they just now dug it out? You know they have with the satellites, they have some kind of satellite that can see through the dirt and down underneath it too, you all. They do. Look at that. Wow. We don't need to look at that. That's it? Well, this is kind of disgusting, all of that kind of stuff, you all. I did not even see the end of that. I don't know. What was the end of that? Was that the end of it? I guess it was. There wasn't much to that, you all. There wasn't. But their heads. The Mount Nemrut archaeological site in Turkey. Do you really think their bodies are buried underneath there? Toppled heads of gods. Toppled heads of gods on East Terrace. Toppled heads. They toppled their heads off, or is the rest of their bodies underground? It's like a pyramid up there. That's kind of wild. It really is. Oh, look at this. So we can see this, you all. Look at that. It's water. There's water right there. There's a woman's head and a man's head. Were they gods or were they giants? Wow. That is amazing. And why the bird? The perfect sunrise tour. Who were they? Really, who were these gods? Look at that right there. It's a pyramid. Doesn't look like a ziggurat. Just think there's so much sand over there. And I guess sandstorms could have covered up all this stuff. A bird beak. Could that have been... I don't know. Did the Anunnakis have bird heads, you all? Because they could have had a bird head. No, that's like a beak. Looked like a beak. Or it could have been a reptile. No, I don't know about a reptile, you all. Oh. That is really... Let's see the tombs. We got to look at the tombs now. Oh, wow. Look. Look. There's a lion. A lion's face also. What if we click into that? What will we see? Nimrod. Nimrod. What if it's supposed to be like Nimrod, you know, this Nimrod thing? No, I don't want to receive any notifications on it. It displays a fusion of Greek and Persian influences, while the clothing portrayed in a Persian iconographic style, whilst the physical features suggest a Greek artist style for these things right here. No, I don't think that that's a big snake. I think that's all make-believe, you all. I'll try to get out of this place right here because I don't want to go there. I just wanted to look down on this right here because we were looking at something different. And I wanted to see the... what was it? There was... that's it. This right here. Where did these come from? Right here, these great big statues. You think somebody just did it? Mount Nimrod? Mount Nimrod? There's some heads and some bodies. There's the birds. You see they are a bird and a lion. I can't make this screen. Even with my fingers, I can't enlarge this screen right here. Even with my plasma screen, it won't let me enlarge it. So that's what they had. They were birds is what they were. Birds. In Turkey. So Turkey and Syria and all of them have a lot of archaeological, and Iraq, a lot of archaeological history associated with them, a ton of it. And they don't want us to know about it. They don't. That's what I think. They reconstructed the Artaxiad flag. And then who is that? Lion Yang Gang, not just the birthplace of the Monkey King. The Monkey King in China? How did we end up in China? How did we end up in China? Who is this? Iran, Bishapur the Fourth. Wow. All of this archaeology. Look. That looks familiar. It's like an Anunnaki right there. Can you all see it? Looks like an Anunnaki. Now that's really interesting because you've got this one right here, much taller than this person right here. And I can't read that writing up there, whatever it is, by my head. Yeah, if stones could talk, well, they don't want them to talk. They don't want them to talk. Look, Adashir. Just think some people, well, there are people who don't believe in any type of an afterlife. They don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. But there are people who remember like being someone else before they came to the earth. They do. Uh-oh, something's on top of their head right there. Look at that. Persia. Sandstone rock with carved tombs of the Persian kings in Necropolis. Necropolis, you all. Hello. Necropolis. That doesn't look as good as the other one. See if we can get this back again. This being has a lot of good things. It does. A lot of good places that you can go to. Since something's in Tehran. Wow. Persia. Look at that. Is that the Anunnaki? With their long beards, but yet they got animal bodies, you all? Look at it. Who is that? Persepolis. I've not seen these before. Of course, I haven't been looking at archaeology lately. They look like they got crowns on their heads. Oh. Crowns on their heads. Just think, they don't want us to know anything about the past. They want us to forget about it. They got wings. It's like a Pegasus. Also, they got wings on them. They were depicting something because they got wings. Wings on their backs. Who's scared, Angel? Is somebody scared? I don't know anybody who's scared. That is the same like engraving that is on the Anunnakis. Oh, look, they knocked their heads off. That is not very nice, you all. They knock the heads off just to hide the history. I think that's what they do. They go behind, they knock their heads off, and they knock their wings off. See, now look what they did to that. They knocked off their heads, and they knocked off their wings. Wow, that's kind of sad. It really is. You did that to the sculptures because they're supposed to have heads like that. And they're supposed to have wings like that. But somebody decided they would knock off their wings and they'd knock off their heads so you couldn't see their human-like faces. That's a little sad if you think about it. It is sad. So you can see their wings. Can y'all see them on here? Wish I could make it big, but Gina, I can't make it big. Wow. It's kind of small. What else do they got? Let's click it. Oh, these are ancient kings of Persia. Ancient Persian queens and kings of Persia. Oh, look at they had Persian wars. Persian kings. I'm getting in the wrong part. I don't want to go into whatever it was. There's King, I don't know who this is. King Ares? King Ares. Was King Ares of ancient Persia a black African as depicted in the artwork? That's a very good question. That's right. It is. Oh, kings. Look at this. Look at their braided beards and headdress. Malachi, the great king reading Malachi in Persia? Museum of Baghdad. Wow, you all, look at all of this. In museums. That's really interesting. pieces of artwork. I love Sargon of Akkad restored digital. Oh. The rulers of Mesopotamia. Look, Gilgamesh, hero king of Mesopotamia. Gilgamesh. Look. The falcon-headed figure of Mesopotamia and Nimrod. Falcon. How we doing on here, you all? Falcon. Gilgamesh. The importance of prophets. Looks like it got some wings right there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Mesopotamian bas relief, Louvre, Paris, from the cradle of civilization. From the cradle. You know what the cradle means? It's like the beginning of civilization. Look at the wings. The wings feathers are on the top, and they also cascade down the back, just like that. The top and the back. What's in his hand? What is that in his hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't that interesting? So he's got that in his hand. Then in this one, he's got that in his other hand. Ashurnasirpal II from the Neo-Assyrian period. Wow. He's got human feet. He's got a rod. He's got a crown on his head. Look. Do you think he could change into that head? Do you think that he could be a human head, that the wings are all the same? They're all the same. The feet look the same. The crown, the forehead. Balaam, who taught whatever, and the donkey. Balaam and the donkey. Remember that? Who was this? He got rebuked by the donkey because he kept beating the donkey. And the donkey was given a voice, and it spoke to him, is what happened with that. Balaam and the donkey. Yeah, the donkey was given a voice to speak back. How on earth did we get on here, you all? We weren't supposed to be on that. We was just looking at this stuff down here. These things that were carved in stone. And look at that. He's got feathers and big hands. And then it looks like he's got a pine cone in his hand. He's got a bird beak. He's got a crown of feathers on his head. There's the tree. This is wild. Look how perfectly preserved. The Neo-Assyrian reliefs palace at Nimrud, 850 BC, Pergamon Museum. Pergamon Museum in Berlin. Why do they got it, you all? Why do they got it? The Pergamon Museum in Berlin. Why do they got that? What's this? I don't want to see this. I want to look at this. Oh, shoot. I've done too many click-ins. I did too many click-ins because I didn't get to click into what I wanted to click into. This is really neat. Wow. All I can say is wow. I mean, I've seen a lot of these before, but some of these I haven't seen before at all. I haven't. I wanted to click in one more thing, but then I clicked too much and made it disappear, is what happened. Dennis, honey, I didn't even see your thing because I was distracted myself. I was going click happy. Click happy, you all. So this is Sumerian Empire. So we have civilizations that have come and gone, and we don't really even know the half of it. We don't. Because they're not going to tell us the half of it. They're just going to leave it, and somebody knows the half of it, but we don't know. That's kind of sad if you think about it. Babylon, Assyria, Assyrian statues, you all. Statues in Syria. Why does the British Museum have these things? You know, why couldn't the stuff stay in their own countries? Why did they have to come and take it? Really, if you think about it, why you got to take the stuff out of the countries and put it in your museums? Because that's what they did. They took it. They took it for themselves. Human-headed winged lion. Because it existed. It existed. I don't think they ever died out. Okay, that's probably enough, you all. Get myself distracted and get myself in trouble. I will. Let me get rid of my window capture. I'm going to get rid of the window capture. I'm going to put it back to me. So, this is in Ephesus right here. Ephesus. So now you know what Ephesus looked like, at least a certain part of Ephesus. That's right. That's right. They couldn't find a museum. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I love archaeology. I do. I love it. Love looking at museums. I'm sure a lot of you all like it too. It's like a piece of you. Don't you feel like it's a piece of you connected with ancient artwork and stuff? Yeah. Nimrod. Yeah. I am going to go, but that's been interesting looking at that. Yeah. So thank you so very much, you all. You can, if you go to the Bing thing, they really do have a lot of stuff, and you just click the tab and they take you to different things, is what it does. So thank you for watching. Even though he's just looking at the pictures, it's artwork, it's history, and we don't know much about it except what we have been told. We know that there's so much more that could be said, so much more that we don't fully understand or fully know, maybe because that part of our mind up here, maybe they deactivated it or something in this. Yeah, that's right. So I am going to go, and with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all. And one day they may have people looking back on our civilization and wondering what happened, because we can't find any information on them. Maybe it may all be erased and done away with. You never know. Love you.